Every now and then I get a question from people asking, "Hey, how do I get in? How do I get a job in Japan?" Or even more specifically, how do I get a job in Japan as a photographer? The first question about getting a job in Japan, I'm not going to answer that. Whoa. Um, Let me talk specifically about getting a job in Japan as a photographer or using your photography skills. And I think before you go anywhere, you should ask yourself and be honest with yourself, do you have the skills? Do you have what it takes as a photographer or to use your camera to make it in your home country? Because if you can make it in your home country, then great, go for it, However, if you don't have that skill set, what makes you think you can come over to Japan and make it here? Because you have two hurdles. Your first challenge is about photography, and then the second challenge is about the language. So I'm assuming getting a job in Japan with photography is like commercial photography, shooting for an agency. Now those places, they pretty much have their kind of go-to photographers, and mainly Japanese, they don't need the visa, and they can speak the language. So why would they want to kind of invest in you? Because that's the biggest thing, by the way, is if you come to Japan to work, is the visa. And I don't know of any, at least the people around me, a majority of the photographers around me, they are either married to a Japanese national, or they have kind of like their main job or a day job, and photography is their side hustle. Oh man, this dude I really wanted to photograph for a long time. There he is. Shit. Anyway, so most of the people that I know involved with photography, foreign people involved with photography, living in Japan, working in Japan, these people are mainly married to a Japanese national, so that they either have spousal visa or permanent residence. So they don't have to worry so much about that big issue. I don't really know anyone who is sponsored. Their visa is sponsored by some kind of agency. So you need to ask yourself, well, first of all, like, what kind of photography? Because fine art, street photography, documentary, those things don't pay. You really have to go into the commercial photography industry. Another thing to consider is, if you want to shoot for a magazine or some kind of media outlet, you need connections, and you need a really strong, but you have to have a strong body of work, I think. But even if you do have a strong body of work, you need your network. You need to know the people who are passing out the gigs, passing out the jobs. So even wherever you're based, my suggestion is build up your portfolio. Get a lot of experience in whatever type of photography you want to do. And make a presence. Yeah. Social media, marketing, but also the human connection, the human element of networking. Yeah. Super important in, I guess, in not only in photography, but in any kind of industry. If you want to come to Japan and work in some kind of creative industry, where it's photography, design, music, and seriously, I mean, you might want to build up your portfolio first, and also land yourself a side hustle, or I should say the main job, and then your creative work will be your side thing until you can sustain yourself, because it's hard even for the people who live here. I mean, Japanese nationals. I know photographers who are basically poor, and I guess that's a phenomenon worldwide, not only in Japan. So, yeah, I mean, Japan is fun and all, but the hard part is reality. Do I recommend working in Japan? Yeah, why not? It's fun. It's exciting, at least for me. I guess you could say that for many places. So thanks for taking a drive with me, and I hope I didn't discourage you, or I hope I didn't discourage people. So catch you next time.